Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, I'm a business owner and I get confused. Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, which one are you supposed to use? We'll be talking to a national thought leader next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team. And the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show. So I've had this PR firm for 14 years, and at one point in the life of this company, we did full service social media, but I gotta be honest with you, it's really tough to get right. You have to have the right people, you have to have the right strategy, and so a few years ago, we just got out of it. And I wanna introduce you to Silvana Massolo. She is the founder of the Bloom Agency. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you came on my radar screen because I listen to KRLD, and David Johnson does CEO Spotlight, and I thought your interview with him was so wonderful that I said she has to come on my show. So welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I was actually just thinking about that and talking to my publicist about it, and it's like, how did it go? And I'm glad that not just that it was heard, but that you found so much value in it.
Absolutely, and I think what you did so well without talking over the viewer's head or listener's head is explain what social media is and why you should do it. We've run into large law firms that they have a Facebook page, but it only has like 50 likes and they haven't posted in 2 months. Social media can actually work against you if you're not doing it right.
Absolutely. I mean, something that I've said for to clients of mine for many years is I'm more than happy to help you, launch your social media efforts if you are committed to your consumer. If you are committed to the space and you're not just going to start with a backup plan that you're going to pull at any moment, I think that's when you should be stepping forward and connecting with your consumer. If it's something that you're planning on doing where you're going to launch, but maybe I'll pull back in a month or in 2 months, then you start to hurt the relationship that you've been creating, right? Yes. Because if you launch in social media, now you're talking to your consumer. This is the one medium where you can literally speak to them. If you wanted to reach out, if you wanted to just touch them and say, how's your day going? Right. And really positively and proactively do it, they're going to start, there's a trust that starts, right? Like they're going to start to trust you, they're going to start to build, they're going to start to reach out to you or to think of you when they need that service in particular. But if you suddenly stay quiet and you disappear, that trust is now going to be affected.
Yes. We're going to put up on the screen a list of your services, and I was impressed with how deep you go. I mean, you've got social media management, social media strategy, social media branding, digital advertising. It really is soup to nuts, isn't it?
You have to have a little bit of everything, I think. And I always start with any client. I mean, on any discovery call, even when we reassess, like, okay, what's the plan for this year? I've had clients in my own agency for now over 5 years, and I go back to them and I say, okay, this is how your ads are performing. You're staying busy, you have leads coming in, this is all great, but what is your plan for the next year?
Yes. Do
you want to increase sales by 25%? Do you want to increase sales by I need a number so that I can, on my end, with the team say, okay, if we have to increase by 25% and we want to help them get there, what should we do next?
Yes.
Right? And it's sometimes it's moving the budget around, right? Sometimes it's understanding that maybe the Facebook ads were performing better than I don't know, like the email strategy, or that this is performing better than that, and start like reallocating dollars if that's something that can be done. Other times we are doing so well that the next step would be, okay, in order to do this, we need to increase the advertising dollars by X%, and that will get us to that, to that generation of leads that's going to help you reach that 25%.
And the social media has to reflect your overall brand. I sometimes will see people who, they're running a dignified law firm, kind of buttoned down, collars, and then the next thing you know, I'm seeing them on TikTok doing funny dance videos, and that doesn't really work with the conservative law firm thing.
Right. I think you have to stay true to who you are. Stay true to your brand voice, to your positioning, right? The problem with a lot of these is that they don't have that outlined for themselves, right? A lot of times people launch a business, and you know how it is. You launch a business and you have to you have to reinvent yourself, and you have to learn, you have to grow, and maybe you change. Maybe in 5 years you're not the same person you were 5 years ago, right? And maybe your clients are also not the same that they were 5 years ago. So you have to change your voice, change the tone that you're using. But if that is who you are, and now we know that this is your conservative law firm, right? There's an audience for everyone. You don't have to try to fit every mold that's out there, right? It's not, I think it's wonderful that we're different, right? I say that to everyone. I'm like, I don't believe in competition. Sure. I think you're gonna do business with, I could be offering the same thing at someone else. You could even say the same price, but somehow you vibe better with me, right? And you feel like you can trust me, so you're gonna hire me. Or you do them, and you say, you know what, everything was great, but I just somehow connect with this other person more, and that's okay. I
believe that too, and I urge my audience to go to her website, because she's always writing these amazing blogs. We're going to put one of them up on the screen, and just maybe have you talk about the philosophy of why do you blog.
This was actually an article where I was quoted, and I was talking about the fact that, especially when it comes to small businesses, you can really see how your money is being spent in the social and the digital space versus in print. If you have the dollars, I think print is beautiful. I started my career doing TV, print, radio, and I mean, one of the things that I enjoy the most doing were the print photo shoots. For me, those were magnificent. And but the reality is that if you don't have the necessary, the dollars, the bandwidth for something like that, I would say you have to, stick to the social, stick to the digital space, because you're really going to see your dollars work. The rest of the stuff is really nice to have, right? I mean, if you have it and you're able to, and you're, if you're at McDonald's, if you're Kia, if you're any large brand, and you have what it takes, and you can do that, by all means, let's go for it. But when it comes to small businesses, even mid-sized businesses, you're looking at lead generation. You're looking to spend your money smartly, right? You want to be smart with it. You don't just want to just keep throwing it out because, it's nice to have this mix of different outlets to be in, but you actually want them to be effective.
Yes, and as I said at the start of the show, I heard her on Carol D's CEO Spotlight with David Johnson, and I like it that you're the person that the media goes to when they need advice. That's got to feel good.
It was really nice to be interviewed by him and to interview by you and talk about these things. I mean, I have 16 years or so in advertising. There was a point in my career where social and digital started coming out, and I took it upon myself at that point at the agency where I was at to say, I want to be part of this. And then I switched my career, basically my path, to social strategy, and I went to a social strategy company specifically that had been doing social for years, because I wanted a boot camp. I wanted to know the ins and outs. I wanted to work hand in hand with a website developer. I wanted to work hand in hand with a social media strategist. I wanted to know the ins and outs so that I could learn that and then share it, right? So I went on to work with other beautiful world awarded agencies. And it's nice. The awards are great, right? I've enjoyed it. I've done beautiful campaigns for many Fortune 100, 500 brands. But when it comes to what I do now at the Bloom Agency, I'm actually able to impact a person who has put their life savings or their dream, it's like to make this take off. Wow. And I'm able to impact them. Like I'm able to impact the person that I'm speaking to. I love the other side as well. Don't get me wrong, but when you're working for campaigns like that, you are talking to the marketing manager. You are talking to the CMO. Ultimately, they're managing someone else's money.
Right.
When it comes to what we do at the Bloom Agency, we're actually managing the money of the person who we are having a conversation with. So it's a lot more personal. The commitment has to be there from both sides, right? Like the trust needs to be there. And I mean, I don't believe in having clients or investing in clients to just do one-off things, right? Like it's great, and many times they come in that way. But as they get to know the agency, as they get to know the experience that's coming in, I mean, sometimes I ask pretty hard questions for them, right? And they are not used to it because in the past, when they've dealt with a social media agency, they have dealt with somebody who, creates posts for Instagram.
Right.
And they're all very, tell me what you want. I want posts for my Instagram. Great, let's do posts for your Instagram. I won't do that. I will ask you why, what is your goal? Who are you? Who's your consumer? And actually from there, I will tell you, I'm going to put together a plan to reach your consumer and to reach those goals.
Wow, I can see why you're so successful. We're almost out of time. Go ahead and look at the viewer and tell the viewer, how does a person know when they need someone like you?
Most people come to me when where they're feeling probably a little bit overwhelmed, right? You're running a business, you're seeing your clients, you're dealing with consumers, and it just feels like so overwhelming to think of, I also have to take care of my Google ads. I also have to take care of my social media. Oh my God, I don't have time to create content. And the nice thing at Bloom is that we have developed ourselves to be able to cater to that busy business owner, to that busy marketing director who needs the help. It's like you're spread so thin, and you should be focused on growing your business. You shouldn't be focused on let me run some Facebook ads, right? Or, oh my God, I have to design a new post. No, you're the face of your business. You need to act like the face of your business. The rest of the stuff we'll take care of, and it'll be taken care of.
You're wonderful. You're a great guest. We're going to have you back again soon. We're going to end with your website, which is thebloomagency.co.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
That's everyone. It for now. We'll see you next time.